Nelson's right around the corner from the mayor. Nelson and Tremont and Abbott.
Oh,
Lived there for 65 years, I think. Oh my God.
some
I
people
don't know
just
why
don't
I
like
did.
trees.
Well, you can see all the houses in the whole.
They must
I
have
bet
get,
he's gonna replant that though.
probably with something else.
He's got that whole courtyard coming in the back or whatever.
We waited now.
Eileen, do you have another agenda?
I'll share with you.
I'm not giving mine.
We got. Okay, roll.
Okay. All right.
I'll look at yours.
Okay, so we're convening, right? And it's 3:30. All right, so first thing is, I need a motion to approve the minutes from December 1st. Oh, you have the second. I need a second. Okay. Is there any discussion about the minutes?
I had food in my mouth, sorry.
No, so everybody, in favor, say aye. Everybody opposed? Okay, minutes are accepted. I wish Tom was here, practice it. Okay, all right, so we're gonna start right out, because we know we're gonna eat time up at the end. You're gonna talk about St. Monica's briefly, just tell them what you did.
Yes. So I was asked to go to St. Monica's and talk to Father Pat and see about the money that had been in this account for forever. St. Monica Cemetery was given over to the city. And Father Pat honestly didn't really know anything about it. He was kind of blah on the whole thing, like I was wasting his time. So he said, oh, sure, everything's okay. So I went back to Carol Dawes and I said, Carol, Father Pat says it's okay, we can transfer the money. And she said, do you have the paperwork? I said, no, what paperwork? She said, well, there has to be a letter that says this, this, and this. So she told me, gave me a list of things. So I went home and wrote the letter, printed it all, called up Father Pat, and he said, you're coming back? So I came back and he signed the letter, took it back to Carol. She was very happy. So now the total amount, which was $5,400, has now been placed in the general fund as of September the 3rd. And everybody was happy.
And they didn't make any stipulations that,
No,
he didn't know probably enough about it to even, yes.
if I put in the letter that it would be used for St.
Yeah.
But it's in the general fund.
Yeah, we'll eat up some of that anyway. So any questions about that?
Thank you for
No.
doing that.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the next thing is just a brief update on stone cleanings in the future, which are, of course, right now not. But Reenie suggested maybe, because now we have more funds, we accelerate our cleaning of the stones, and not just in Hope. We're gonna all of the other ones too. And so actually, I've already reached out to the Calcanis about possibly cleaning in Elmwood. We're gonna, of course, keep that. And we've got some other names for some people that we're going to try to find out to do in St. Monica's. Of course, this will all be next year. And the plan is, Tom and I, at some point, I don't know, January sometime, we're going to go sit with Carol again. And we're going to really understand, like, how the money is going to play out as far as, like, that's definitely a maintenance function, right? Unlike our other things we got going on. So we did go ahead, though, and get Matt Peak to clean. We found some money under a rock, and he cleaned 87 more stones in Hope. So he was happy. We were happy. So we're going to continue with this to see, and also branch out to the other ones, which will be nice. And maybe also will help us figure out what else needs to be done in the other cemeteries, because there's the other maintenance work, right?
As long as he maintains the maximum he can do, because he's our first go-to.
Okay, I'm talking about Matt.
Matt.
Oh, yeah, Matt's in place. And I'm not anticipating that we would have anybody else in Hope. So if we find more money, he seems very ambitious and interested in as much as work as we want to give him.
Good.
So
He's got an agreement with BGA and
Yeah.
Rock of Ages to do, so many each summer.
Yeah.
So that's a lock-in. And
yeah,
that was set up intentionally because we didn't want to have to go out to bid. If the cemetery was doing it through the city, we'd have to go out to bid every year for somebody to do that.
Yeah,
And, like we said, everybody likes Matt. He does a good job. So we put it in the hands of the Rock of Ages and BGA at the time and said, you name the person you want. So we don't have to go out to bid.
well, okay, so that's an interesting thing because that hasn't come up in any conversation with Tom. About-
I've told him about it before.
Okay, but so I went ahead, I made the contact with Matt Peak and we determined what we were gonna do. We weren't gonna spend $50,000 this year doing it, but so I don't know, we have to.
So you contacted him for the additional
Yep.
87?
Yep, well,
Well,
yeah,
that's okay, because you don't need permission to do that,
So
right?
I'm not sure,
yeah,
you get the BGA doing, or 2,500.
yeah, I got your note.
Rock's doing 2,500.
Yep, yeah,
We also are doing 2,500.
know.
I'm not sure he's gonna need anything past that, if
No.
that perpetuates. Cause you're talking about tripling up
True.
what was a few years ago.
yes, but okay, and I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying that if we throw another, which we did, we threw 3,000 more in, we're not breaking the bank. And there's a lot of stones we'd like to clean. But if you're saying we shouldn't be putting any more there and spending it in other places,
I just think we're putting a pretty substantial effort at it,
there.
just standalone from the industry.
Mhm.
So you may not have to do much.
Okay,
At the
That-
same point, I'm not against it.
yeah,
I just don't want to see us get frivolous.
yeah. Well, I would say that also when we look at the sizes of the different cemeteries, it might make more sense to put a little bit more of resources into it, but I hear what you're saying, and we'll see how.
Well, the whole, if you're going at Elmwood and you're going to
Yeah.
go at, San Monica's, and if you're really gonna try to restore those places, that's not cleaning. That's a
No, I know that.
whole different animal.
Yeah.
I
And
know.
it's gonna cost a whole lot more money, which Cozy's money is earmarked for Hope.
Correct.
So, we want to be careful how we use it and where we use it.
Absolutely understand that completely.
And there are in Elmwood, there's some good sized monuments that haven't been cleaned in years.
So-
We did that,
We did the Jackson Angel because it was going on the cover of the
and
magazine.
that thing came back like it's brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's amazing.
The bolster one was another one. We did that one on a cover, so.
Well, it's more to come about that. I think we're not talking about bleeding the coffers dry, but just maybe being a little bit more proactive. And spreading it out too. That's another thing I'm saying. If someone here or someone who wants to get into doing that, they could contact Tom. They could contact me. I don't care. But we aren't keeping it to a finite group either. We're
But I hope we are. We're keeping
yeah,
Matt-
but I'm saying in the general sense of the stone cleaning. In hope we are right now because we feel like we've got a good thing going.
Yeah.
And he does too.
How much did it cost when Matt Peak did the extra 87?
3,000.
You want to be careful too with who you get.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like, the guys we've had for years, Henry, Bernie Scott, those guys are gone.
Right.
There's Jamie Fontaine, but
Yep.
he's trying to sell his part of that business. And I've mentioned this to Tom before, you've got to ask them for proof of insurance before they even come in there.
Jamie Fontaine, so he's a name that did come up. He helped the Calcanis do the park, as you know.
Yeah.
So, but what business is he trying to sell half of his business related to that?
He's trying to sell his monument cleaning business because he's the guy that invented a new formula for washing stones, and he's putting more of his emphasis on that part of the business.
Okay, so he might not be interested at all,
Well,
but
it
maybe. the
depends on if
person-
he's got somebody to take over that part of it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, so, all right, so that's that. Yes, and the rebuilding thing's a whole nother thing. So, the other thing came up in one meeting, a couple meetings, and I don't remember, that the word on the street is that the Zanleone's family would consider relocation of the bench. I don't know, it wasn't Tom that said it. Does anybody know anything about that?
No, it wasn't me.
It was Tom, I think, so.
Has
And
I-
also
has
Teo,
he been in contact with them?
he said it, he made the statement in the meeting,
Okay,
but Teo also said something, because Teo and I were talking about it, and he didn't, and well, the conversation we had, I don't know which one of you it was. So Teo's sister-in-law is related to Zanleone's son.
Joey's wife, Joey.
Yeah,
Joey's wife.
Joey's wife, right, so Joey retired.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I don't know who you would check with to see if it,
But I thought it came up at one of the meetings that Dunkin' Donuts or whoever,
They own that
They-
land.
They own the land.
they don't own land, they don't own the bench.
they don't,
No, that's what's we're being told. I don't, they think they own it, but I don't think so. And so I guess the thing is whether it's worth it to pursue it.
I mean, Mary Goyette was instrumental in getting that done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is she a
She's a
Zanleone?
Mary Zanleone. She's the daughter of my aunt and uncle, Joe and Angelina,
Okay,
and she's deceased.
oh, okay.
She has
It's not gonna be
four
Michelle.
children left. Charlie Goyette, he's in Nashua, New Hampshire.
but he's passed away though.
No, Charlie.
Oh,
Junior.
Junior.
He's in the 70s. I don't know Mary's maiden name, but that was a daughter. And there's Carol. I don't know her maiden name, but they're all out of Nashua.
So we,
But Robin Goyette, who is here, Smitty's wife, what's Smitty's first name?
Oh, David Smith's wife?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, her mother was a Goyette.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I was gonna say,
she's in contact with them much more than I.
Joey's probably the best contact.
Yeah.
yeah, because Joni, his wife Joni,
Well, it was like, we made the bench,
yeah,
and it was a stipulation of the sale of the property that something would be there to mark the house.
Right.
yeah,
And
Yep.
that's why the benches escape of the house.
yeah.
So I don't know if it's deeded or what, but
Yeah.
I know it was very serious that the Calcani family, Goyette family was all about this is gonna happen if you do this.
Yeah,
So I would talk to Joey,
yeah,
'cause he was kind of the friend.
yeah,
Stay in writing someplace, right?
yeah. You could, I just, if it stays there, it stays there. It just seems to me that it's an eyesore. The people,
Well, I know they wanted
I
it
mean, I don't want to be
there, I understand that.
Yeah,
Maybe a more appropriate place might be the park.
well, that's what
to
I'm
write,
thinking.
but
I mean,
Does that just stick it somewhere and congest the area? You're gonna have as many people sitting there bumming it up, you just won't see it as much as when you drive by on Main Street,
yeah.
you know?
But I guess that the reality is if they say no, and it's done.
I remember saying to Mary one time, and she said, "Do you like the bench?" And I said, "I do." I said, "It looks nice." And I said, "There are a lot of people that are sitting there that trash it and
Oh.
really make a mess of it." And she said, "We put it there for people to use." And that's her.
yeah, but we
Yeah.
didn't put it there for people to crap on.
Well, I know, I understand that, but the average person leaves their junk there and defecate on and urinate.
Is that really happening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's serious.
yeah,
Yes.
and it's city park and
Yeah. And the other one then, with the tall one,
Denty.
yeah. Should do that in there too. I don't know, you're gonna stop that, but I don't think moving it's gonna help, I guess.
Is that what you think?
That's my point, yeah. But it's worth asking, why not?
Yeah, I think it's whatever. Okay, so okay, so then we had mayor's update on the council pertaining to cemetery softwares. Well, he wasn't gonna have an update because you're not talking about it till tomorrow at tomorrow's meeting.
tomorrow night, it's up for approval.
Yeah, so we will have them come, Scott McLaughlin and, well, I think Michelle will come too. And like bring everybody up to speed. It's pretty elaborate, this whole data entry thing for the cemeteries. I mean, it's gonna be an undertaking. There's probably gonna be 6 months of 6 interns with Scott overseeing it. It's not inexpensive at all, but the reality is that they bought the software and now this is kind of banning out to be a lot.
Are you
more than-
planning on going to that city
Yes.
council meeting? Okay.
I'm anticipating that we will get approval. I'm anticipating that people there will not ask any questions. The people there will, see, I mean, Scott McLaughlin, he's very impressive. And his, his talking about what we had to do was, I mean, I don't think really in the anticipation of the project, anybody really thought about how much it was gonna. So we'll see tomorrow night, more to come on that.
Is that going to be the total package or just the basic?
It's a pretty comprehensive, but there are things that apparently at the time that the package was purchased would be add-ons that were not totally understood. And so it remains to be seen as this all rolls out, what the deal is with that. This is basically okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but basically it's the data entry, the collecting of the information, the, what do we want to say? What would I want? How do I put this? Once we're done, we're going to have not only the data in the software, but it's also going to be archived, right? Or
Yeah,
is that the
it'll
right
be,
word?
it'll be reformed,
saved.
it'll be all scanned and digitalized,
Yeah.
and then the paper goods that Scott is processing will be handled archivally,
Yeah,
and go back into the vault,
yeah.
so that
Pretty-
the longevity of the paper goods is safe.
That is what you're.
Okay, tomorrow. That's what they're talking about, approving yes to pay for. The price tag, from Scott McLaughlin was $110,000. And that's for all 3 cemeteries, the 6 interns, his supervision, a piece of equipment necessary for the project. And I think
And all the archival material
Yeah,
that is
and that's the
required
box
to store
and
it properly.
everything else. And I think Tom is planning on putting some kind of contingency, like 10%. So I think the number you'll see is 120.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so, and that's, yes.
I wondered, will citizens or regular people have access to that information, to those documents? So you
Absolutely.
can go on and look up,
Yeah.
your own,
Yeah.
whatever, okay.
And that's, you can do it through, we'll be able to do it through your smartphone. Wow. I know, it probably will be, along with the fountain, another draw, right? Because people who want to know
Yeah,
and want to come to this beautiful cemetery where one of their relatives is buried, will be able to pinpoint where they are to go there.
mhm.
So that's another plus.
Is it appropriate for me to add here, since we're talking a bit about my children?
Oh, go ahead. That you gave well, actually, no, just because not, it'll all come out this is really just so they know what's happened. And then, because we don't really know how much.
Just for this one.
Okay,
Okay, well, Mike Gilbert taught at Spalding High School for many years, and he and his wife decided they needed something to do. So they decided to start a new hobby, taking pictures at Hope Cemetery. And he originally, he's been in charge for a long time of yearbooks, and he's online all the time about class meetings and stuff like that. And so he and his wife started looking for dead members of his class. And then when they got there and taking pictures of their stones and categorizing, putting them all in organizing. And he decided that this was kind of fun. They were having a good time, that they would continue to do all of Hope Cemetery. He started in 2011 and he stopped in 2014. And Scott McLaughlin thought this would be a great thing to have because maybe he's got all the pictures. So we don't have to do field work and go out and take the pictures, which is what we're going to have to do. So that's going to be a difficult project and a long project to do. So they sent me over. So I went to Mike's, and his information is very interesting. He's got his own numbering system, which doesn't match up at all to Hope. And so it's near impossible to figure out exactly what he's done. He has no pictures. It's been sort of passed around that he is taking pictures. He took pictures of maybe a couple mausoleum, but his dead members of his family his graduating class are not in those mausoleums. He's got overhead like drone shots of the whole cemetery, and they've gone through the whole cemetery, and there's paperwork. I've given everything. He gave it to me. I gave everything to Scott so that Scott could look at it and, as a computer expert, look at the stuff and see whether it's going to make any difference to us. But it's basically overhead with, next to the stone, his own numbering system. So it's just pictures of numbers from overhead. So I don't know what Scott discovered about that, but everything that Mike Gilbert had now is with Scott McLaughlin.
Time will tell.
Yep.
Big project, I'll tell you. All right, so any discussion more of that? You'll know more. You'll find out from Scott. Scott's very easy to talk to, and he's very good at explaining. So once we get approved, which I'm hopeful will happen tomorrow, then he's going to start right away because he's got the 6 interns already. So fingers crossed. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is future meeting schedules. So normally, historically, the cemeteries committee has slept when the cemetery's sleeping. And the cemetery's sleeping right now. So, the next 2 meetings that we have scheduled on our annual schedule, we don't have, they're holidays. So we really don't have a room, and we won't be getting in the building. And so I guess what I'm going to propose, and also it's a little different now, we are meeting later. It's dark. We have members coming from away, bad weather. There's just some extenuating circumstances that I think I would propose that, except for Cozy, and that's the whole thing that's coming, we meet again on the first Monday in April. That we suspend the next 3 months. Doesn't mean we can't talk to each other. Email, respond to emails, just don't reply all. But that we meet the first week in April, and then we will then get back into the 3rd Monday in May and start through the rest of the year. So is there any discussion? This isn't Cozy. Cozy's a whole nother deal.
So why did you choose the first Monday in April
Because I'm here.
instead of the third? Oh, the third.
Because I'm here.
Okay. But
So-
we'll still continue to have third Monday meetings.
Yeah, for May, yeah. What does everybody think? And I will say this. At any time, and this has been true from the beginning, if you have something that you want to talk about at the meeting, or first of all, you can always send an email, right? It's an informational email. Helen sends an email. It's an informational email. Heather has a question about it. Heather can email Helen directly, okay? And so we can all be communicating. And I am more than happy to take any suggestions, phone calls, emails, whatever, about stuff you want to be discussing. I'm collecting stuff for the future. I just think, except for getting going on Cozy, right? We're kind of in the slow period right now.
I think it's a good idea, and I think that the goal ought to be for Jeff to come to that meeting loaded for bear with Cozy,
Yeah.
a clear path.
Yep.
As to the process and how we're gonna immediately put it into place.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think that would be good not to muck anything up in the middle because there's not that much to talk about.
No, they're really, yeah. So is everybody comfortable with that?
Yes.
I am.
Okay. Do you think we need to have a motion to do that? No. Okay, so, okay, so
You do.
it's a schedule change, right? Okay, so can I have a motion to, let's see, how I want to phrase this, motion to suspend the coming up meetings until we reconvene the first Monday in April.
So
You just made the motion.
I can't though. I don't think I
I
can.
just moved.
Can't. He moved it?
I second.
Okay. Everybody in favor? That's Carlos. Everybody's in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. So that's what, and so that will be now the TBD. It'll be the first Monday in April. In the meantime, as I said, I don't think that we cannot communicate. And if you come up with some good ideas, be happy to hear them. Okay, so all that being said, we are now moving into Cozy Quest project update. So basically this, the continuation of the conversation we had 2 weeks ago. And we've come around.
That lengthy conversation?
Lengthy conversation we had. We've come back around to realizing that in April, right, the things were done that were talked about on the December 1st meeting, and we are back here. And actually, it's too bad that the mayor's not here because he was very clear on the fact that anyone can submit a design for this. I might say he made the comment about fifth graders, and that was just being funny. Do we want to make it such that people would need to be at least age 21? Just a thought. So anyway, we should finish the subcommittee assignment and continue with your,
Now, after all of that last meeting, I
yeah,
think I had said Giuliano,
yep,
Eileen,
yep,
Mark,
yep,
myself.
yep.
I thought you said.
I thought you were
And
gonna
then
together.
we were gonna add her.
Happy to be on board,
I think-
but
Right.
if you don't feel like
That's-
it's
no.
necessary, that's fine.
No,
I think it's
I
a good idea.
think it's great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And it's uneven, so you can have
Right.
votes and have a winner. Okay, excellent. So now we need to have some discussion about the design competition and the design submittal. And I do see this playing out over the next few months as to what everybody, I would just speak for myself. I'm definitely secondary to knowing anything about this at all, right? I'm not going to submit a design. Everybody will be surprised to hear.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure exactly how we're going to format the submittal application, but I think we need one of those. Right? I mean, somehow. I mean, it's going to be probably an online thing. Maybe.
Won't that come out of possibly discussion in your committee?
Mhm.
Because we
Okay.
talked about location
Okay.
somewhat,
Yeah.
unless that changes by someone else's recommendation.
Right. And I put a call into this Griever and Ward, but I haven't heard back from them yet. But they're probably not gonna wanna come up here till spring.
Mhm.
What?
Well, that's what everybody's talking about, having a cemetery design person come in and look at it.
They said they wouldn't.
They want us to have a design ready if it's even necessary.
Yeah.
They've already designed, what they design is cemetery sections. Plantings, arrangements, all that kind of stuff. We've already done that whole cemetery. Where we're talking about likely was designed by them.
Oh, yeah.
He said, if you're just doing a fountain and you have a location, then you really don't need us. You need to talk to the fountain people and just come up with a design. So that's what he told me directly. I really don't see the need for them to be involved because I don't think you're reinventing the cemetery plan. Unless you are.
And we're limited as to where that fountain can go anyway.
Mhm.
We're limited by power, we're limited by water. And that's the best place for it because everything's right there roadside that we bring it in.
I thought we had come to that conclusion that we are going to be in that location.
Yes.
So if we're gonna be in that location and it exists, then I think it's okay. This design that we're seeking is going to fit here. It's going to be a fountain of some sort. In memory of Eugene
Mhm.
Coolsey. And have at it.
Right.
But we don't, Grieven Ward isn't gonna
Okay,
They have nothing to offer on that.
Yeah.
They've already done it there.
Yeah,
And he was, he's very, and they could take our money, but they don't see a need for them to be involved.
Yeah.
So,
and correct me if I might be wrong, and didn't you also talk to Roman Fountains?
Mhm.
And didn't they tell you,
he referred them as a contact. So they said, we can do whatever you want, but you need your design first.
Right, okay,
So really the idea is somebody to conceptualize their thought of what the fountain is going to be and look like and quantify it. And then we'll decide, okay, within that, okay, is this gonna be a 3-foot fountain or is this gonna be a
right,
8-foot fountain or what's going along with it? Then you talk to the fountain people and the fountain people will get involved with what the nuts and bolts of that fountain require. And then we have to figure out a way to make sure it doesn't look like it's a bunch of pipes and beautify it. So I think that's the way it all goes. I think we will have, we'll want to talk to Roman Fountains or somebody else that does that. But I don't think Gouverneur Ward basically said, no, you don't need us, you need to go see them.
Yeah.
So
makes sense. I mean, there's some secondary auxiliary things that the mayor was talking about, like widening the road, and there's some stuff like that. That's really secondary
Mhm.
to us moving, only my mind, secondary to us moving forward in getting the design submitted, right? That's the thing we really want to seek out.
the design, like if Tom was talking about widening the road that parallels the main road,
Yeah,
which I think he was because we
was.
talked about if people wanted to park,
yeah,
we need to create. That's
That's, yeah, that's
I think
totally
too.
separate,
Totally separate,
because
right?
that's out of the main area of the fountain.
Yes, I agree.
And there's plenty of green space, heading towards Merchant Street or Maple Avenue that you can widen the road going on into the grass and widening it. It's got nothing to do with the
Everybody
fountain.
kind of agrees that that's a secondary thing that
Yeah.
that's not where we need to be focused.
no,
So the subcommittee, the cozy design, the fountain subcommittee should really be focused on a selection committee. The submission process and what that application is going to look like. And part of that is coming up with the specs of the site to make public so people understand what they're designing for.
Right.
Because we can't have people submitting designs and not have a selection committee yet. We have to have,
or design too big for the space.
right.
Okay, so, but could we just not have these things happening in parallel? Like, could we not figure out how to start having people submit design, how to get the word out there or whatever? I'm just saying, and in parallel, also try to figure out about the selection committee, because the thing about the selection committee, the final selection committee is the council. You heard the mayor.
Mhm.
So, and he said something about, I don't know, 3 choices or 5 choices. I don't know about that. But let's say the selection committee brought it down to 3.
Yeah.
Okay, that's gonna go to the council. The selection committee will have to be no one that's obviously
Neutral.
neutral. So yes, I think but I think, can we do those in parallel?
I think we kind of have to.
Yeah.
We have to have all the specs figured out to put this out to the public to get the submission. So that really has to be done first.
Yeah.
Then we can put it out maybe while during the months that it's out to the wind where people are thinking of their designs and drafting them up.
Right.
We come up with a selection committee. If we happen to get 20 submissions and they whittle it down to 3, great. If we get 50 submissions and they have to whittle it down to 5,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then the city council, they're the ones that pick the final design.
Yeah. And I don't know the process of whether would you probably vote on it and whatever won the most votes?
You score them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you score
You
them.
score them?
It was,
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So,
So you also need a rubric of some kind with points, right?
Yeah.
okay. So
you'd want to know something about the person doing the design. We talked about that. A brief bio. That made a lot of sense.
So do you think the girl who I know, but I can't, this at Spa,
Mhm.
would be helpful in the paperwork of this?
Sue Higbee.
Sue Higby?
I think that she would be incredibly valuable as a resource for this. But
Why are you, what's, did I?
Leon's trying to make me laugh.
But
Oh.
I'm not sure if I don't know if she would be interested in or be available to help. But I know that she has definitely overseen some of the Barre sculpture projects
Yeah.
and done a good job with that, and has the knowledge and the experience in the submission and selection process as far as the arts in Central Vermont are
Yeah.
concerned.
She's
Yeah.
fair.
She's what?
She's fair.
She's fair. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she should be on the selection committee then.
Yeah, she was one of the names on my list.
Okay.
So all this
Hmm.
should go to your committee.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Not be run over twice.
Right.
yes. Oh, no, don't misunderstand. We're just trying to get some idea.
Yeah.
And maybe we're actually trying to help, but absolutely 100%. The way I see it is the communication on this will come from you guys to the larger committee.
Mhm.
And maybe at some point, you could, if you also, you reached out and you wanted to get together, everyone to get together, then we would just make a special meeting and have you, if there was something you wanted to run by us.
So I see something that was evolving last conversation when I was here that I'm not sure we want to box ourselves into or necessarily quantify. And that was the idea that something could be chosen by strictly a designer who's got an idea and puts it on paper or on some sort of presentation and brings it forward. Or you're going to have the possibility of a manufacturing firm designing and engineering how to make it.
Mhm.
Because if you can't make it, then it's not, worthwhile.
Right.
I think both scenarios are going to happen, and I don't think one should preclude the other. So I'm starting to work with another firm on an idea that may not go anywhere, but it would be fairly elaborate, and there would be very few people who could make it. What I heard was it would be a design only, then it would be bid out to the masses to produce it. And I don't think that necessarily fits.
No, so we just went through the same thing with the auditorium project. And we went with a design build rather than, taking somebody else's design and saying, okay, well, here's a design, you build it. So we've had, I think there was two firms that bid design build and they're in the finals. So I like that idea better. Whoever designs it, builds it.
But doesn't
Yeah,
that
and I see
Then you
some
eliminate
things
one,
that are going to exist, elements that could exist in this may have to be structurally analyzed
Mhm.
and then professionally.
But like with these, these are major contractors that do,
Right.
multi-story
Well,
buildings all the time.
that somebody is going to submit something, maybe, and maybe it's really cool,
Mhm.
but then all of a sudden, okay, now how do you do it?
No.
So then there's another big step after that, or there will possibly might be some people, and there may not be, who bring something in and say, this is engineered to do it this way. So I just want us to understand that both those scenarios are likely to happen.
Yeah.
And to be ready to accommodate both concerns,
Mhm.
both ideas.
So if you get a design, let's just say you have the mixture, people doing both, like you're anticipating. But the design that everybody likes the best is a standalone design, okay? Then it just become such that companies that could build it would then bid to build it, offer to build it?
Possibly, but I think that if I put in a lot of work to engineer and to design something,
Hmm.
I might be a little miffed if they decide to put it out to bid.
Oh,
I think if it's a package, if it's design build,
Yeah.
it should not be put out to bid. It should
no,
be.
that's actually not what I was
Yeah,
talking.
yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about someone who designs this fountain, but is not like yourself. Not it, whatever the person is, they design.
So I guess what I'm saying is, yes, I agree that there should be a method to enter something that's design build
Yes,
and something that's just the concept.
okay,
The concept would then be put out to whomever is qualified
right,
to bid or whatever. I just think if you want people to invest a lot of time into something, you gotta kind of protect their interest a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
At the same time, I'm still talking, I hope, that this is gonna be something that we're gonna try to save money for the cozy money and not, somebody making off like a bandit.
Yeah.
I think I still consider it a very area project. And I'm hoping that we can get a lot of people involved in doing something.
Yeah.
No matter whose design is chosen.
right.
But at the same time, I think if somebody puts a ton of work into something, we gotta kind of understand that.
Okay, so just to clarify that, because I think that's great idea in the sense, if someone submits a design build, that's what it is, that's their submittal. And if someone just submits a design, it's gonna have a different process, right? A little bit, it's gonna have to have a bid process to see that it can be built, but both could be accepted as far as the submittals go.
But before the bid process, wouldn't these fountains that are just sent in by just a person,
Yeah,
not a manufacturing company, wouldn't they, before we decide who's first, second, and third that goes to the council, send it to Roman Fountains and say, what do you think about this?
They've pretty much told me, you come up with your idea.
They don't want to see a bunch of them.
No,
want to
they,
see
they,
one.
they can make whatever we want to see happen. They were very adamant about that. Don't worry about us. We can do whatever you
they're
need.
doing the gut part of it.
Yeah.
And,
they're,
okay.
they're just doing the fountain.
Yeah.
And if there's whatever,
Bunch
a pool of water or
Yeah.
whatever, and the recirculating the water
Yeah,
and all those good things that come with the fountain is that.
okay,
So I would say, no, I think it's more like, what's the concept?
mhm,
Pick the concept, no matter if it's a manufacturer or a designer or whatever. Vote on that, and then the next step is talk.
Figuring
To the
out how to
fountain.
fabricate it, yeah.
okay,
Well, so the selection committee would pick their finalists,
mhm,
and then those would go to an engineering review. It's not the engineer design building it. It's the engineer looking at it, just saying, yes, that is feasible. And it has nothing to do with the person who submits it. It's the city's part, kind of securing the fact that this is viable.
Mhm.
So they would take 3 to 5, an engineer of their choice would review it and like, okay, this is good, this isn't gonna work, that's out, and make the final decision.
okay. The they in that is the city
The
would
city,
hire an engineer,
yes,
Or-
it benefits the city to make sure that whatever they're selecting,
yeah,
because if they select it, they've bought it. Like
Yeah.
if I'm the city and I was like, that's what I want, and it doesn't work out, then
yeah, okay.
so an engineer would review it regardless of who designs it.
Yeah,
I have
It's just covering bases.
yes,
the designs go in and you have the design build and you have me making a design. Does the design build hold more weight in selection than? No. Okay. So after the selection, you've got 3 or 5. Is there a cost in there? Is there an estimated cost to build?
We haven't, again, I
Because
think
you could
that's,
have,
I don't think we're gonna identify that. Everybody kind of knows we've got money. But at the same time, I think it's the idea of this
Mhm.
committee that we're not gonna squander money.
Correct.
So
I guess
I
that's
don't,
what I
I
was
don't know
getting
how
at,
we
yeah.
quantify the money thing. It's part of the decision of the final thing might be, okay, these three are the finalists.
Yeah,
Now let's see what it costs to build.
Okay.
yeah.
That might be part of the
That's what I
decision
was
that's made.
getting at. I didn't say
Right,
it very well.
right.
Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Would we want to put out two different application forms, one for design only, one for design and build?
I think you'd have the same application and it would have a
Check.
checkbox.
Checkbox.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And
Very gray. You knew that?
we know, yeah, we know very, yeah. And we know that, well, and the parameters of it and everything that would have to be. So there's,
Are there limitations when you're right at the edge? You know how, like, here's the piece of property like this. And this must be designation that you can't.
That will be part of the spec that the committee's gonna come up with.
That'll go in that application. Okay, got it. Thank you.
all right,
The committee's gotta immediately come up with identifying the space.
Mhm.
This is the space, this is exactly what it is, this is what you gotta use. You can, this is the space you have to use.
Mhm.
If we need a perimeter of something for plows or whatever the heck it is,
yeah,
we need to identify that. And say, okay, this is your net space, this is your usable
Mhm.
parameter, and that's it. And then,
Okay.
what do you got?
Right, so looking at where we're looking,
yep,
you know, the island where you come in and you got the flagpole.
Yeah.
It's 40 feet wide at its widest.
Yep.
And I didn't measure the whole length, but it's probably about 60 to 70 feet long.
yeah,
You're gonna need probably like they did at Spalding where they put in the granite bollards going up the driveway on the sides because you want to keep your travel lanes
mhm,
and, you know, still have room, the green room for pedestrians, but all that stuff's gonna be in there. You know, this is a space you've got to work with, period.
okay. So initially you did this, remember?
Mhm.
And I don't know if, you know, there's something to this as far as like the visual for, I mean, it's all gonna be written out, I understand
Mhm.
that, but for somebody to have a visual
Yeah.
of where this
Yeah.
exactly is going when they drive in, right?
Yeah.
Jeff, do you have a copy of that?
I don't.
Star, can we get a copy of that before,
Well,
like when we go downstairs?
Still have it? No.
Can we just make a photocopy
I
of it
can make, we
downstairs?
can make a copy and, yeah, it's fine.
That'd be
Yeah.
helpful for us to have.
So that's another thing is, you know,
I will actually have your.
Remember, Nicholas brought in, you can somehow get a satellite view of everything.
yes,
Kind of
Oh.
zoom in
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
That would be, I mean, a
That would show
picture of
more.
the site and
Mhm.
then that, I'm sure I still have that picture.
Oh, no, but you mean like a drone
No,
thing? A drone?
no, it's a satellite thing. It comes right down
Like
and
a
shows you
GPS?
exactly where it is and what it is and
Okay,
Google Earth.
it's just there. It's
okay,
somewhere he found it in 2 seconds.
okay. All
yeah, I
right,
mean, that would all be part of the packet that goes out to bidders. You know, you'd have a picture of the area, dimensions, you know, and what we're looking for.
The other thing, one of the things that comes to my mind is that it's not just what it is what's it look like through the gates
Yeah.
as you come through.
Yeah.
yep,
To me,
Yeah.
that needs to be a little bit of something that doesn't conflict.
Because it's framing the whole.
It's just, yeah, you're gonna,
See it as a
your
whole,
eyes are gonna go right towards whatever this becomes.
First thing you see.
Yeah.
And you've had this beautiful gate that you've just been through and it's gotta be something similar, something that doesn't conflict to me. It's,
And we're moving the Veterans Memorial, is that
Well,
the
that-
deal?
well, two things have been discussed. One was in somehow, because Eugene Cozy is a veteran,
Mhm.
incorporating something into the fountain for veterans. That was been one thing we've discussed. The other possibility we even brought up the other day was getting rid of this fountain in the back, which everybody's in love with, and we could put something there, you know, that would even actually have more, well, I don't know if it'd be the same thing. This is kind of a very modest veterans memorial.
I know,
Okay, I was trying to be nice.
it's a piece of crap.
Okay, so I'm
Can
saying,
you call them and say we're moving it? I mean,
Is that the old project?
who decided on that?
You know what that monument came from was
People have,
a few years back, they didn't have anybody to run the flags for veterans. So they were going a few years without that. And there was a monument made for each cemetery recognizing the veterans. But then they came back to doing the flags on the monuments.
Yeah, I don't think you should relegate it to the back of the cemetery.
No,
Okay, it was just an idea. All right. I don't care where we put it.
the
I
whole,
mean, we gotta, we,
yeah, the whole veterans thing is a separate thing that I don't think should be part of the criteria, but could be part of the criteria. It doesn't have to be something that has to happen. I think we could do something in that respect, but doesn't mean it has to happen. One thing I will say is, for a cemetery of national and worldwide recognition, we have a lousy veterans memorial.
yeah.
And what would happen with the flag?
Well, that's it's TBD. We got a lot of TBDs.
but that'll come out of your committee. Does it stay there? Does it get moved?
I guess it depends on the design of the fountain.
Yeah.
Right.
exactly.
And somebody could come in with a design that has a new flagpole built right into it.
That would be
We'll,
great.
we'll go from there. We'll have a flag,
And
that's
in the
for sure.
winter, when there's no water running, we'd have the flag.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right. There would be no water in there.
We have to look at that too.
What, running the water in the winter?
Winterization?
I don't know. There are fountains that work in the winter and they become an ice sculpture and they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it has to be designed as such if you're gonna do it. But, and it probably is not feasible, but just, I wouldn't rule it totally out.
Be nice to have lights on the fountain.
Yeah,
I think that'd be sharp.
Well, that's probably definitely doable.
Maybe.
That's probably and there might be some security from that, because I think when we put the floods up, you know, something like, oh, the
Yeah.
floods, they're drawing attention. Nah, I don't know. Me, lighting, I always think,
when you put the lights up behind our place.
yeah,
maybe that-
makes a huge difference, yes. So, okay, so,
It took from on my power bill too.
yeah, but, yeah.
One last question. for
Pay
you.
for someone's retirement.
I don't That's good.
I'm a questioner. so-
That's fun.
Are there other projects that have used online applications or at least posting all the specs and information and photos and all that kind of thing? I mean, is that commonly done?
They all do, but
Yeah.
it depends how far you wanna go. If you wanna go national, that's the way to do it. If you wanna keep it local, there are other ways to do it. You can still do it like that national thing, but you restrict it.
Yeah. It just seems like nowadays that somebody could, go and get information very easily without having to receive a big packet of paper.
Yeah.
That we should, you don't have a website.
Well,
Well, the city
The
does.
city, you could use the city,
Yeah.
through the city website.
Yeah.
So it could be set up like that,
Yeah.
so that people could easily access the information that they need.
And a lot of, I think, majority of the people that'll be involved in this, wanting to design will be
Very,
very savvy about that
Yes,
stuff,
yeah,
because that's the
expect
way of the world,
Too.
through the
well,
Vermont.
it could be multiple ways to
Is
post
that
it.
too, Hickey?
No.
No.
Somebody else.
Okay, that
Yeah.
was,
No,
I
that's,
just didn't know if that was something we should look into. Yeah, another job for somebody else to do.
yeah,
Well, what is the realm? Is it Washington County? Is it Barre?
Did we ever decide that?
It's,
kicked it around.
well, we talked about a few things. We talked about opening up people in Rutland and,
Yeah.
So I'd say go statewide,
Okay.
I mean,
if not New England wide.
yeah,
I'd say statewide.
I think design is one thing.
Fabrication.
Fabrication is gonna be, right.
Fabrication for me should be a member of the Barre Granite Association.
Yeah,
Because basically everybody is that's in Barre or Brigade or whatever.
are they in Rygate, the Barre Granite Association? Are they in Rutland, Barre? No.
They don't really make any granite that way.
Yeah,
I hate to interrupt, I just wanted to share with you that I'm gonna be locking up the administrative wing on the last one here tonight.
okay,
So most of you that came in that way, just go down the stairs and out by the elevator, or go down the stairs and out the elevator if you're out back.
okay, yeah.
All right?
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
The rooms look great, by the way.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Thanks.
Everybody's, how late is it? It's 41. Okay, so, all right. So, yeah, I don't, that's, yes, we would say yes. I think that that only makes sense. Maybe by the fact of what we're doing with Barry Gray, it probably will not be something that will be a surprise to anybody. That it's gonna be, that it's fabricated.
Well,
By the-
You know,
Right.
again,
Just-
we're trying to make a community effort out of it and,
Yeah.
Well,
you just don't know where strange things might come from.
well, you definitely could make that one of your requirements that designs could come from anywhere or whatever. Or are we gonna, like, age 21 and above, or are we gonna do that type of thing?
I don't know, so
I
I
don't
would
think that
throw out an
matters.
age
Okay,
requirement on it.
okay. So no age, so fifth graders, no, I'm just kidding. And,
You never,
but fabrication by the Barry Grand Association.
I think
That would be
that
my
sounds
opinion.
I
fair.
like that.
Well, I don't think, say Heather does a design, Heather's not gonna go to someone in upstate New York to have it
No.
fabricated. It's gonna be, Heather's gonna go local. So regardless
She
of,
would.
No,
regardless of who,
Juliana, if you open
Well,
it
the
up,
city's
if
gonna
you
own the
decide to
design,
open it up
so
nationwide,
That's fabricated here
to who.
through a member of the
if they
BGA,
throw out.
totally appropriate.
Because the committee can decide whatever it wants.
like, again, my point is, if the design is chosen from wherever,
Yeah.
doesn't matter, it's gonna be produced here.
Yeah, I get that because you, if it's a construct build, that's the manufacturer doing that. If it's a design, that person just submits the design and then it goes to a manufacturer, so you can build that in. So it's taken care of in the first one and then taken care of in the second one. Because you're just submitting the design, you're just bringing the idea, someone's gonna fill that idea.
Yeah, I just don't know where Jeff's committee is gonna come out with who can submit the design. That's gotta be part of it. And if it's nationwide, that's different than
Yeah.
Vermont-wide.
No, I thought we decided that we would say statewide for the design.
I don't think it's,
I don't think we made a decision, because I don't think his committee has had this
Okay,
issue.
so, all right, so I'm gonna say this though. We're all here. If there's things that we agree on here, they should be open to discussion even like tonight. If I say to you, that's a great idea, it should be fabricated by somebody that's in the Barry Grant Association. That's something that the larger committee can weigh in on to your small committee. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna
Not really.
say,
Before we do that.
Yes.
Number of committee members in this committee right now. How many?
you said you have 5 on your.
Well, there's 5 in our
you mean the
subcommittee.
subcommittee or?
Total cemetery committee members, how many?
Okay.
are there?
Now,
Well,
remember,
ask the question, Giuliano.
Giuliano asked for voting members because
Yeah.
I can't vote. I'm a consultant.
Yes,
or
I
whatever.
know, I'm just asking for committee. members.
And I don't know, was the BGA representative ever a voting position? I didn't think so.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Seven.
6,
And
7.
Tom's not a
And
voting.
Tom's not a voter. So we have 7 committee
There
members.
you go. So you got your odd number.
Okay,
But you can't have 4 committee members on your subcommittee.
That's what I was wondering too.
Why?
That's right.
It's a quorum.
Because
because it's 7,
So what,
because they're not voting, okay? Okay,
well, that was helpful.
Right now, as the subcommittee, there's what, 1, 2, 3, voting members of the committee on the subcommittee.
Yeah,
Eileen, myself,
neither one, he really doesn't,
and Mark.
Yeah,
Hannon
yeah,
as
he's the
BGA.
representative
So it
for the
works.
BGA.
It works.
Okay.
So I think we're okay.
Even though he votes all the time.
I thought he could vote. He doesn't vote. He goes, well, I voted, so.
He just likes to vote, that's it.
Just wanted to let you know where I'm at.
Yeah,
There's never been any friggin' question with you.
okay.
Well, that's good. Good to know it's solved.
That's very good. So I
Good
guess
thing you
back,
caught that.
back to the whole thing of, all I guess I'm saying is, we'd love to feel like, well, we're contributing maybe a little bit, but two, that you know that it's like a suggestion that the larger group thinks is a good idea.
You can set parameters.
Yeah, well,
You
he's
give the
saying,
committee a charge.
Don't you think it's gonna be this way? Your committee's gonna come up with recommendations
okay,
of how to proceed, comes back here
okay,
to see if everybody's on board or if we missed something in that committee.
okay,
Yep.
And then it goes forward.
okay, so
It's just to get the gobbledygook out of the
Yeah.
way.
I'm
Done.
fine. So what do you see as the procedure for that? You're gonna meet, you're gonna talk, however you're gonna do it, doesn't make any difference.
What's the budget? Maybe Florida's a good place to start.
I think first thing, we should just set a meeting date for the subcommittee and have a meeting
Yeah.
and be able to knock out all the cobwebs and figure out exactly what we are looking at
Excellent.
and come up with a plan that we can bring back to this committee in April and be able, like Mark said, to move forward really strongly from that point if we get consensus from this whole committee that what we've come up with looks like a good way to get through the process.
Do you think you want to wait until April to get to the point where that happens?
Well, I think that we need to have a meeting of the
Okay.
subcommittee and figure out how
Okay.
long it's gonna take us to get through these
It took me
weeds
3
and
months.
figure out these
I'm
parameters.
just asking.
So if we come up with a solid plan within like, by the end of January,
Then
Jeff
just
or I or
reach
whoever
out.
can reach out and say, hey, we've got a plan. We'd really like to run it by the whole committee.
Okay,
Can we maybe pull a special meeting
Yeah.
before April?
Yeah.
And go from there if it takes us that long to dice it
So
out.
you think going, starting up after Christmas, New Year? Yeah.
in January.
Can you get in your city contest, can you get the quantifiable satellite information, dimensions, all that kind of look to have at that meeting?
I can check with the engineering office. I'm sure they've got the capabilities.
So
Yeah.
that, to me, it's,
That's-
get that out of the way, identify, boom, here's what we're talking about, right? Everybody knows, yep, okay, then that's where we're starting. To me, that needs to be in the first meeting and.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I can't believe that if we sit down for 2 hours with a small group, that we can't put all this on paper
I think it's
in
gonna be
that meeting,
just fine.
great.
so.
You go ahead.
Yeah, seriously,
No, I
go for it.
I'm sure you can.
definitely
I'm
doable.
sure you can. You're extremely knowledgeable of what it takes.
Mhm.
Another thing we're gonna need to do is kind of reel in Tom's deadline that he threw out.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I have a,
It's not gonna be ready by the end of 26. I can tell you that.
oh, no.
I think we all kind of thought 27,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I think that's ambitious.
It is.
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
that's good. And I think, yeah, it's wishful thinking, but it's.
But I hear that money's been sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing for a long time.
It's
It's making money. That money's making money.
There's no question, but it's not achieving the purpose that Eugene wanted.
Yeah,
So I think his message was, let's get it going. So he's right.
Nothing moves fast in government operations.
Was he a
Nothing moves
conservative
fast in
kind of
Granny
guy?
either.
Mark?
I don't know.
No.
But talked to him on phone a number of times and never got to meet him. I'm like,
Eugene,
yeah.
met him once.
He was a character on the phone.
Oh, yeah, he's
I
funny.
had all sorts of spies watching the job. I see you did this today. So I did. I didn't even know. I haven't got there. He knew what more was going on from Florida than I did here.
Very proud of his roots.
Oh,
Yeah,
he was a character. No doubt about it.
of the industry.
and Jeff, I feel like this goes without saying, but you're open to, like, if anybody not on the committee has some thoughts or ideas to just throw out, they just
Yeah.
could send you an
You
email.
know, she's speaking for herself.
I know.
I don't know that I have that many.
Yes, Star, you may.
National Guard, CIA.
Yes, Star. Yes, Eileen. Any others?
Would his name be on it somewhere? Would there be?
Oh, yeah,
That's a stipulation.
for
Okay,
sure.
all right. And would there be
Wow.
something else aside to tell people,
Oh, something about them?
yeah,
Probably should.
That would be more something like on the ground,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
yeah. On the ground, off to the
yeah, 'cause
side.
you don't want to interfere with the view.
They'll be part of somebody's design.
Yeah. Okay,
Okie dokie.
all right, so we don't have, the rest of us don't have anything to do except criticize what you do, so that's gonna work.
And I'm sure you'll do just fine, so.
You're gonna get an email that says, well, I thought we said,
Yeah,
she'll be in Florida.
She has good ideas. She taught me into these new lights out in this parking
Yeah,
lot and
those
out
are
front and up at home.
I wonder if they've been good, of course, about keeping them up, you know? like-
Well, I noticed some of them have been burned out. They don't report them.
See, that's the whole thing.
Right.
I have one question, last one. The fountain is built. Do we assume that Public Works will care for it, maintain it, know about the hydraulics and what it entails?
They'll have to,
Yeah,
because it's part of the cemetery
Okay.
property now.
okay.
There's things that'll come into the conversation, like when we recycle water through our granite plants, you can't just put water through, you'll get algae. You gotta get a flocculant or something.
Mhm.
So there will be some sort of treatment
Okay,
to
Right.
this, that there will be some ongoing effort.
It's like when we rebuilt the pool, we had to put in a whole new filtration system. So the guys over there, like Rowdy, who'd been there 100 years, had to learn a whole new system, but it wasn't that drastic. This will be completely new because they've never had a refiltering system for a fountain. The old fountain was water in, water out.
that's tricky.
Well, and there'll be a new person maintaining the cemetery anyway,
Right.
so.
Donnie's-
I think
Donnie's
it-
leaving.
super- I mean, it's
Yeah.
like par for the course.
But will that, like now I understand it's the water committee that turns the water off and on. Will that be total cemetery or will that still be?
It will be the water department. They turn it on in the spring, turn it off in the fall.
Well, I hope it's on their calendar because last year.
They didn't have it on in the spring.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't on their calendar.
I bet it is this year.
Well, I hope so. Because there were a lot of unhappy people.
I can only speak for the previous guy.
You speak so fondly of himself.
He thought a lot of you.
Yeah, he did. A lot of you.
Picking on me?
No, but you know what? The thing is,
More knowledge in your head.
wow, let's not get carried away.
Is that yours?
But you've got to have somebody
I
that,
think it's time to hit that
Right.
button.
that isn't the situation these days.
Well, we have Hope Springs.
I can't
Insurance
comment.
that's gonna happen.
Send an email directly to whoever you think should be responsible and send a reminder. Don't wait till.
You know, and when it's all installed, the people that put the system in they'll meet with everybody there who works there. So they all get the same story at the same time.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so, we're gonna look forward to the subcommittee sharing its infinite knowledge with us about it.
Or your committee doesn't have to be on that, does it?
No, it does not. Tom is confirmed it on the.
Oh, no, we don't have to, it doesn't have to be a
It's not an
public
open
meeting.
Are we adjourned?
It's a
So
working
she can
group.
shut the button.
And I'd like to thank you
I thought
for
we still had roundtable.
coming onto the committee.
Well, we still do have roundtable. We
Can
can,
leave it in time.
Hey,
well,
Plenty of doors and windows.
so
don't jump out this one.
we'll do roundtables from there. And actually, this would be an opportunity. If there's anything that you have in your head now that you want to see in the future, Also, you can email me, that's also, but is there anything anybody wants to talk about?
I'm excited to see what you come up with.
Yeah,
Looking forward to that.
I know it'll be
A lot
easier
of knowledge in it.
than this operation. Right? You joined at an exciting time.
I'm,
You really did.
I don't even honestly know everyone's names except, first names, but
Quick, what's my name?
Jeff,
There you
yours
go.
are on. You,
Oh, she did.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, I bet you did.
but,
Yeah, you joined at a great time.
it's very
Yeah.
exciting and very interesting to me, and I'm so impressed and a little overwhelmed at the knowledge and experience that you guys all bring to this. So it's cool,
All different.
all, different aspects of everything, how it all works together most of the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we don't have a lot of, last week or 2 weeks ago when Tom said, I just tell them they're out of order. And I'm like, I can't imagine when screaming that at somebody when they're talking.
yeah. I mean, I'm not, obviously, I don't have the same expertise as anybody, but I'm just very interested in all of it and hope I can contribute something somewhere.
Just did.
What have you, what have you involved with locally that, or professionally that you can bring to the committee?
Well, organizationally, I was the head of our teachers union in Los Angeles. And just the flow of the information and things like that, something I can do. But other than that, it's just I love the cemetery, and I want to help however I can. You can think of anything that I could possibly do, I'd be happy to do it.
I think the future's gonna find us. We're also gonna be branching out now that we have, more funds, and we're gonna be branching out into the other cemeteries, which have been pretty much
Yeah.
neglected.
Yeah.
And so we want to remember, because Elmwood is beautiful. I haven't spent a lot of time in St. Monica's, so I don't really have a perception of St. Monica's, but Elmwood is beautiful. And
Very historic.
yes, so. Okay,
We'll have to walk through St. Monica's next summer and look, there's some nice monuments in there.
Gorgeous.
I think it would be a great idea to do that, to
Do a field trip, a meeting, have a field trip.
We could do that.
I'd love that. That'd be really
Well, we
interesting.
gotta get the ones that are working on board, because they're working.
So for the field trips, something not quite so heavy, 'cause
I'm there's something.
Yeah.
I was thinking stop at the rooftop.
there we go. Platter of venison and polenta before you go out.
Like,
You don't have to
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I guess that being said, I'm gonna take a motion to adjourn,
I move that we adjourn.
okay? Ellen? All right, next meeting of the official committee, will be first Monday in April, so I think it's the 6th.
Am I allowed to shut this off now?
Yes.
Yep.
Please
Please.
do. Oh, yes. Always forget voting. Okay, so everyone in favor? Opposed? You're not opposed.
I just was slow on my.
Oh, okay. All right.
Meeting's adjourned.
brain going.
Thank you.
Thanks again for this.
Yes, do you want to take one to go? Take one to the road?
No, I